Before the world sees them as gods, there are moments where they feel painfully human. It's easy to look at superheroes and think they're untouchable, stronger, braver, almost unreal. But every once in a while, something small happens, something quiet, and suddenly they're just like us. A handshake that lasts too long, a bad day that won't end, a moment where everything falls apart and there's nothing you can do but stand there and feel it. These aren't the scenes filled with explosions or epic battles. These are the ones that hit harder, the ones that make you pause and think, yeah, I've felt that too. And trust me, some of these moments might hit closer to home than you expect. Number 17, Ant-Man meets Captain America. There's something incredibly real about meeting someone you've looked up to for years and completely losing your composure. That's exactly what happens when Scott Lang, aka Ant-Man, comes face to face with Captain America. The moment should be serious. After all, they're about to break the law and get involved in a major superhero conflict. But Scott? He can't even focus. Instead, he's starstruck. He keeps talking, keeps rambling, and most importantly, he just won't stop shaking Cap's hand. And honestly, who wouldn't? Imagine meeting someone you've only ever seen as a legend. Your brain short circuits, you say awkward things, you overdo everything. That's what makes this moment land so well. It strips away the superhero label and shows us a fanboy living his dream. Scott isn't trying to be cool. He isn't trying to act tough. He's just being human. And in a universe full of gods and geniuses, that awkward excitement makes him one of the most relatable characters out there. Number 16, Peter B. Parker enjoying his burger. After everything Peter B. Parker has been through, you'd expect him to be all wisdom and responsibility. But instead, we find him sitting in a diner, completely absorbed in something incredibly simple, a burger. And not just any burger, one from a place that doesn't even exist in his world anymore. For him, this isn't just food, it's nostalgia, it's comfort. It's a small piece of happiness in a life that hasn't exactly gone according to plan. While Miles is trying to learn, asking serious questions about being Spider-Man, Peter is half listening, more focused on enjoying every bite. It's such a grounded moment, because let's be real, sometimes when life feels messy, all you want is something familiar, something that makes you feel okay, even if just for a few minutes. Peter isn't being irresponsible, he's just tired, and that quiet exhaustion, mixed with small joys, makes him feel incredibly real. 15. Franklin's booster seat chaos. You'd think a family full of geniuses and superheroes would have everything under control. But when it comes to something as basic as handling a baby, even they struggle. Watching the Fantastic Four try to secure Franklin into a booster seat, inside a flying car no less, is both hilarious and weirdly comforting. They're arguing, fumbling, giving each other conflicting instructions, and nothing is going smoothly. Despite all their intelligence and power, they can't figure out something millions of regular parents deal with every day. And that's exactly why this moment works. It shows that no matter how extraordinary your life is, there are always situations that bring you back down to earth. Parenting isn't about perfection, it's about figuring things out as you go. And seeing these larger-than-life characters struggle with something so ordinary makes them feel like a real family, not just a superhero team. Number 14, Hulk takes the stairs. Out of all the struggles a superhero could face, this one feels almost ridiculous, and yet painfully relatable. After a massive, world-saving battle, you'd expect a moment of glory or celebration. Instead, Hulk is told he can't fit in the elevator. So what does he have to do? Take the stairs. And the way he reacts, grumbling, annoyed, dragging himself step by step, it's something everyone understands. It doesn't matter if you're a literal green giant. Stairs are still stairs. They're exhausting, inconvenient, and somehow always worse when you're already tired. That's what makes this scene so funny and so real at the same time. It takes a character known for smashing buildings and winning battles, and puts him in a situation where he's just as frustrated as the rest of us. No enemies, no stakes, just too many stairs. Number 13, shawarma after the battle. After saving the world, you'd expect celebration. Maybe speeches, maybe dramatic music. But instead, the Avengers are just sitting there in silence, eating shawarma. And weirdly, that's what makes this moment so perfect. Tony Stark casually suggests grabbing food in the middle of chaos, and somehow they actually follow through. Fast forward to after the battle, and there they are, tired, bruised, barely talking, just eating. No jokes, no grand statements, just silence. And that silence says everything. Because after a long, exhausting day, whether you're fighting aliens or just dealing with life, Sometimes you don't want to talk. You don't want to explain anything. You just want to sit down, eat something good, and let your brain breathe. It also captures something real about friendships. These people just went through something massive together, but they don't need to fill the moment with words. The comfort is in just being there. No pressure, no expectations, just shared exhaustion and quiet understanding. It's such a small scene, but it humanizes them in a way no battle ever could. Because at the end of the day, even heroes just want to eat and recover after a rough day. Number 12, trying to lift Thor's hammer. Give a group of friends a challenge, especially one that seems impossible, and suddenly everyone wants to try. That's exactly the energy in this scene when the Avengers take turns attempting to lift Thor's hammer. What starts as curiosity quickly turns into competition. Tony brings in tech, Rhodey backs him up, Bruce pretends to Hulk out, and everyone else gives it their best shot. There's laughter, teasing, and that subtle tension of, what if I actually can lift it? It feels less like superheroes and more like a group of friends hanging out after a party, messing around just to see what happens. And that's what makes it so relatable. We've all had moments like this, testing limits, joking around, trying to prove something, even if it doesn't really matter. But underneath the humor, there's something deeper. The hammer represents worthiness, and for a brief second, when it slightly moves for Captain America, everything shifts. The mood changes. Even Thor looks concerned, because suddenly, it's not just a joke anymore. That mix of fun and underlying meaning is what makes the scene so memorable. It starts as a game, but it quietly reminds us that some things aren't as simple as they seem. Number 11, Peter Parker's worst day ever. Some days just go completely wrong. Not a little wrong, everything wrong. And Peter Parker's experience in Spider-Man 2 is basically the definition of that kind of day. He's already struggling, financially, emotionally, mentally. Trying to balance being Spider-Man and having a normal life is tearing him apart. And then comes the party. It should have been a chance to reset, maybe even fix things. Instead, it becomes the moment where everything collapses. His best friend turns on him, accusing him of betrayal. The girl he loves gets engaged to someone else, right in front of him. And to make it worse, he's stuck there, forced to watch it all unfold. You can feel the weight of it. That helplessness when things spiral out of control and there's nothing you can do to stop it. No superpowers can fix this. No strength or intelligence can change what's happening. That's what hits the hardest. Because we've all had moments where life doesn't just disappoint us, it overwhelms us. Where everything stacks up at once, and all you can do is stand there and take it. Peter isn't just a superhero here. He's someone having one of the worst days imaginable, and that makes him feel incredibly real. Number 10, Thor realizes he's still worthy. Failure can change you. It can make you question everything. Who you are, what you're worth, whether you even deserve a second chance. And that's exactly where Thor finds himself. After failing to stop Thanos, he spirals. He loses confidence, isolates himself, and becomes someone completely different from the powerful god we once knew. So when he travels back in time and reaches for his hammer again, there's hesitation, fear. Not of the hammer itself, but of what it might mean if it doesn't come. Because if it doesn't, then maybe he really has lost everything. That pause in the moment is powerful. It's not about strength, it's about self-doubt. Something everyone understands. That feeling of wondering if you're still good enough after messing up. And then, the hammer flies into his hand. That single moment hits hard. Not because of the power, but because of what it represents. Redemption, validation, proof that failure doesn't erase who you are. Thor's quiet realization, I'm still worthy, is something that goes far beyond superheroes. It's a reminder that even at your lowest point, you're not as broken as you think. Number 9, Yelena's burnout and emotional void. Not every battle is loud. Some of the hardest ones happen quietly, inside your own head. And Yelena's struggle is one of the most honest portrayals of that. She's not fighting a villain here, she's fighting emptiness. The kind where you wake up, go through your routine, and nothing feels meaningful anymore. Work becomes mechanical, life feels repetitive. And no matter what you do, that heavy void just stays there. What makes this moment hit so hard is how real it feels. Yelena talks about sitting alone, replaying her past mistakes, trying to drown it out with distractions, but nothing works. And that's something a lot of people experience but rarely talk about openly. It's not dramatic, it's not explosive, it's just quiet exhaustion. But what really matters is how her journey evolves. Instead of continuing to bury everything, she starts facing it. She opens up. She connects with others who are just as broken. And slowly, that weight starts to feel a little lighter. It doesn't magically disappear, and that's the point. Healing isn't instant. Yelena reminds us that it's okay to not be okay sometimes, and more importantly, that you don't have to carry everything alone. Number 8. Miles struggles to tell his parents the truth. There's something uniquely difficult about trying to explain yourself to your parents, especially when you don't even fully understand yourself yet. For Miles, that struggle hits on a completely different level. He's not just dealing with school, expectations, or figuring out who he is. He's also carrying the weight of being Spider-Man. And when those two worlds collide, finding the right words becomes almost impossible. You can see it in the way he hesitates. He starts to speak, then stops, tries again, then backs out. It's not that he doesn't want to be honest, it's that he doesn't know how to say something so big without changing everything. And that's what makes this moment feel so real, because we've all had conversations like that, standing there knowing what we want to say, but somehow the words just don't come out the way we imagined. You overthink every sentence, you second-guess yourself, you wonder if it's even worth saying at all. For Miles, it's deeper than just awkwardness, it's fear. Fear that once the truth is out, things won't go back to the way they were, that the people who know you might start seeing you differently. But then comes the moment that changes everything, his mom's response. Instead of confusion or judgment, she gives him something simple but powerful: reassurance. A reminder that no matter what he says or who he becomes, her love isn't conditional. And honestly, that's what makes this scene hit so hard. Because sometimes all we really need isn't the perfect words. It's the comfort of knowing we're accepted anyway. Number 7. Heartbreak in Spider-Man 2. Heartbreak has a way of making everything feel heavier, like even the smallest moments carry weight you're not ready for. And in this scene, Peter Parker feels all of it at once. He's already barely holding things together, juggling responsibilities, failing to keep up with his personal life, constantly sacrificing his own happiness. And then comes the moment that breaks him completely. Watching the person he loves choose someone else, right in front of him. There's no dramatic music swelling, no sudden interruption to save him from it. Just silence. Just that sinking feeling as reality hits harder than anything he's faced as Spider-Man. And that's what makes it so real. Because in this moment, Peter isn't a superhero. He can't swing in and fix things. He can't punch his way out of it or come up with a clever solution. He's just a person, standing there, forced to accept something he doesn't want to believe. That's what heartbreak actually looks like. It's not always loud or explosive. It's quiet, heavy, and painfully still. It lingers. And somehow, it all hits at once. His best friend turns against him. His relationship falls apart. His life outside the mask is collapsing, and there's nothing he can do to stop it. It's overwhelming in the most human way possible. Peter's pain doesn't feel exaggerated or cinematic. It feels real. Like those moments in life where everything stacks up at once, and you're left standing there trying to understand how it all fell apart so quickly. Number 6. Thor's hammer moment with the Avengers. What starts as a casual challenge quickly turns into something way more interesting. The Avengers, gathered together, decide to test whether any of them can lift Thor's hammer. At first, it's all fun and games. Jokes, laughter, friendly competition. Everyone wants to give it a try just to see what happens. And that's what makes it relatable. It feels like a real group of friends just messing around. Tony tries to outsmart it with technology. Bruce leans into humor. Others give it their honest attempt. It's lighthearted, entertaining, and then something changes. When Captain America gives it a try, the hammer slightly moves. Just a tiny shift, but enough to completely shift the mood in the room. Suddenly, it's not funny anymore, because now the idea of worthiness becomes real. It's no longer just a myth or a joke. It's something measurable, something serious. Even Thor reacts differently, almost nervous. That moment captures something deeper. Sometimes, what starts as a joke reveals something unexpected, something that makes everyone pause. Number 5. The quiet aftermath with shawarma. After everything, the chaos, the destruction, the near end of the world, you'd expect some kind of grand ending. But instead, we get something completely different. The Avengers, sitting together, eating shawarma in complete silence. No celebration, no speeches, just quiet. And that quiet feels incredibly real. Because after intense experiences, people don't always react with excitement. Sometimes they're just drained. Mentally, physically, emotionally. That's what this moment captures perfectly. They don't need to talk about what happened. They don't need to process it out loud. Just being there together is enough. Sharing a meal, taking a breath, letting everything settle. It also reflects something true about human nature. Food becomes comfort, a way to ground yourself after something overwhelming. Even superheroes need that pause, that moment to reset. And in a universe filled with larger-than-life moments, this simple, silent scene stands out the most, because it feels the most human. Number 4, Hulk versus the stairs. Out of all the enemies Hulk has faced, aliens, robots, literal gods, nothing feels quite as personal as a flight of stairs. It sounds ridiculous, but that's exactly why it works. After everything he's done, everything he's capable of, Hulk is reduced to something so painfully normal. The elevator's full, and now he has no choice but to take the stairs. And the way he reacts? Pure frustration. Slow steps, heavy breathing, that annoyed expression. It's something we've all experienced.